To get started on Uberon, first of all, you need to visit our URL, which is www.uberonhr.com, and once the page loads up, you click on the Get Started to start the sign up or the onboarding process. So on clicking Get Started, the system is going to ask you to input your company's name and your company's email. So for the purpose of this onboarding, I'll be using a dummy company. Once you input your company's name and the email, and a link or a verification email would be sent to your email or to the registered email, and all you need to do is just copy the link and paste it, or you click on the Get Started that will be shown on the email. So once you copy the link or you click on the link directly from your email, the system is going to ask you to create a password. So I would create a password now, and I'll click on confirm password. Once your password has been accepted and the system has registered you, it redirects you back to the login screen where you have to input your email and your password. So after inputting your email and your password, click on the login button and the system is going to automatically log you in. So this is the super admin profile. This is the super admin dashboard. The first thing we need to do is we need to set up our organization. We need to input all required information for us to be able to enjoy the full benefits of the Oberon platform. So what I will do first is I'll click on the settings button where I get to see my company information, my personal information, the payroll settings, the attendance, the employment options, the contract type, compensation, the subscription and billing, and also the security. So I'll be starting with the company information. I need to upload a new logo. I need to input my company's logo. So I would click on this button here. I'll pick an appropriate logo for my organization, and I'll click on change company profile, and the logo will be changed successfully. So I can input also my currency type, how many people work in my organization. Then the employee ID prefix is for the employee for the staff number if you want to use system generated one, and if you want to manually input it too. It depends on what you want or what you feel comfortable with. Then this is the section for the company's KYC document. So I can just upload a test document here. Then the business type, just basic KYC information about your organization. What type of business is it? What is the nature of your business, and every other thing that comes with it. Then your company's phone number also. Then a brief description about your organization. Your address. And the website, if any, if you have a website, you could add it there. If you don't, you can leave it blank. It doesn't really matter. Then you click on save changes. Okay, I need to input. Okay, let me say I go with SC00 SC0001. Now this is my company information. I have successfully imputed that. I need to come to my personal information. Now the personal information section is different from the company information because now the company registers the person, registers the company, while the personal information registers the person. To say if your super admin is someone in the organization, it could be the CEO, it could be a top executive in the organization, you need to tie that the person to the company. So that is basically what the personal information is for. So I would do the same thing similar to what I did for the company information. I would put in a profile picture. Now click on change profile picture. I will input the first name, the last name, the gender type, the date of birth, the phone number, the contact address. I'll save the changes here. Then I'll upload. It could be an ID card. Could just upload. Let me say I upload this. And that is that for the company information and the personal information. The next section we need to go to is the payroll settings. Now for the payroll settings, what this means is our system allows you to automatically pay from the system. You don't need to manually go to the bank or manually start generating the pay run. The system does all of that for you. So we have three different payment gateway options. We have the Rave by Flutterwave, we have the Monify, then we also have the Paystack. So what this means is it depends on which you want to choose. If say for example you intend to use the Paystack, you have a Paystack account, all you need to do is click on enable. Once you click on enable, it comes up. You choose your preferred payment provider, which is the Paystack. You click on get webhook URL. Now what this means is for any webhook URL you're getting from this section, you will need to paste it in your Paystack account. Then you also copy your test keys. Say for example, we have the Paystack test key, we have the Paystack secret key, we have the public test key, and we have the public secret key. What this means is the four keys that we have on Paystack are the same keys that we need to impute here. Let me quickly log into my Paystack and show you how this section is being done. Once you're logged into your Paystack account, all you need to do is click on get webhook URL. The system is going to generate a webhook URL for you. You copy this webhook, you paste it in your Paystack account. Then you also copy from your Paystack, you copy your test keys and your live keys. So if I copy this, and I click on save key details, as you can see it says API keys updated successfully. Then the system also allows you to either automate your pay run, or you can keep it manual. For the purpose of this, I would be leaving it as manual. Then the next is the attendance settings. Now for the attendance settings, we have two different options. That we have the strict policy or the flexible policy, and you have to also select your work days. Now what the strict and the flexible policy means is, say for example you allow people to come in say between 8 to 8:30 and you don't see it as being late. You could use that to say okay, you're flexible, you don't want to say anyone that comes after this time is coming to the organization late, or depends on the policy of your organization. So to set your work policy, you click on the edit button. You can modify the time. Say my organization will start by 8 o'clock, we work from 8 to 5 p.m. So that's my work policy. Then we work Mondays to Fridays. Once you click on done, the settings has been saved. So whenever your employees are coming to the office, this is what they will be seeing on their own dashboard to say the resumption time is by 8 and the closing time is by 5. Then we also have the employment option. Now employment option means you want to have different custom work mode. Now the system already has some presets work mode and employment status, such as hybrid. We have the hybrid, the on-site, or the remote. Then for the employment status, we have things like permanent, probation, terminated, contract. So now it depends on what the employee wants, or what the organization wants, or what their policy is. You can create as much as you want. Then I come to the security section. The security section basically means you can modify your password, you can change your password, you can add two-factor authentication, you can tweak the system as much as you want. That is what we have for this section. So to show you for other aspect of the platform that we have to add a new employee, we would come to the employee list section. Now, this section here, it basically talks about adding employees into the organization. We get to see the dashboard. We have the total number of employees. We have how many permanent or how many departments, how many new hires you have, your how the employees are being separated, also how many male or how many female employees you have. Okay, before I create a new employee, I'll have to create my coverage, my skill pool, and my department. Now, for the coverage basically talks about where your organization, your office location is located. Say for example, you have offices in Port Harcourt, you have in Lagos, you have in Abuja. So coverage just says I want you to impute all where your office is located. That is basically what coverage is for. So for the coverage, let me say Port Harcourt. So you can add as much coverage as you want. You can add multiple, you can add 50, you can add 100, as much as you want. The system has no restrictions on that. The same applies to skill pool. You can group your employees in terms of their strongest skills. Say for example, I want to use management for this section. Create that has been created. You can create as much as you want also. Then for department, let me see, I'm starting with the technical department. Add department, so you can create as much departments as you want. So to go back to creating an employee, I would click on add employee. Our system allows you to either add a single employee or you can import using the Excel sheet that has been pre-populated on the platform. So if I want to use the import option, I will download the template. Once I've downloaded the template, I'm going to input the information as required on the Excel sheet. After imputing it, I click on the choose file. It brings up your file explorer. You click on the already prepared Excel template and you upload it, and that way all the employees you have included in the Excel sheet would be imputed or would reflect on the system. But for the purpose of this, I'll be adding a single employee. I will click on next. Now we did a split in this section to say for the first part, which contains the employee personal information and next of kin information, this section is accessible to the super admin, the admin HR, and the admin non HR. But for the second section, which talks about the employees org details and the payroll information, this section is only available to the super admin and the admin HR, because now the admin non HR does not have the right or does not have the required permission to see employee sensitive data. So to go back to filling this information, so I should create a user, phone number. Now our system auto generates a password for the person, and irrespective of the email you're going to be using, you don't need to save the password somewhere. Our system is going to automatically send the user their email, to their email, the password that has been generated by the system. So all they need to do is just access their email, open it, and they are going to see the password that has been generated for them. It is also optional for them to change the password, but it would be a good idea for them to change the password to something that they could easily remember. Now, the next of kin information is optional, so I would leave that as optional and go to the next page. Now, for the next page, the person's job position. Okay, let me say is a general manager, up coverage, skill pool, the department, the contract type. Okay, now this person is a full time. Okay, now what general workflow and personalized workflow mean is, now for the general workflow, say you have 10 employees that are on the same salary grade, you can use the general workflow for them. Now, assuming in the 10 employees that are on the same salary grade, it's a particular person there becomes the team lead. Now they have a different, probably a different allowance or a different salary structure that you would not want to that it's only pertinent to them, that is just for them, then you can use the personalized workflow. Now, it still doesn't affect the person's employee contract type, they could all be full time. But for the personalized workflow, it means you just want to make some tweaks to their remunerations or their salary structure or their allowance structure. That is why we have the two workflows there, the general one for everyone using it, and the personalized one for some certain employees that there's it's different. So I'll be using general workflow for the purpose of this. Um, for this demo. Then the work mode, the person is, let's say, a hybrid, line manager, no line manager, permanent staff. Okay, date of employment, today, the annual salary, no allowance, confirm add employee.